To be honest, this was a hard project for me. I couldn't figure out how I wanted to decorate the little Christmas tree. I found this sign at Dollar Tree this spring and knew I would be able to use it for something. Well, that something came to me today. I removed the hanger and the tag. I had to get rid of the glitter on the sign, so I decided to try using Amazing Cleaner to see how it would work instead of going outside and sanding it. Well, to my surprise, under the glitter and paper covering was a hard surface. Perfect for what I wanted to do. Even better than I was hoping for. And once I figured out to use a scraper while it was wet, all the paper and glue both were so easy to get off. Just look at how simple it was to get this board cleaned off. I will be doing more of this instead of sanding from now on. Once I got all the paper and glue off, I used my hot air gun to dry the sign. Once the sign was dry, I painted it using ivory chalk paint. I also made sure the sides were painted too. If you are enjoying this tutorial, go ahead and hit the like button. This will help more people see my videos in the future. I again used my hot air gun to dry the first coat and then applied a second coat and used my hot air gun to dry it. I tried a little experiment to see what would happen if I put the air gun close to the paint. And to my surprise, the hot air gun caused the paint to look old and chippy. I'll leave a link in the description below for the hot air gun I use. I love this thing and it speeds up the drying time so much. And the best part is I gave less than $20 for it. I used some green yarn I got from Dollar Tree to make the little Christmas tree. I made 10 tassels for the tree. For these tassels, all I did was wrap the yarn around 2 fingers 10 times. I didn't want long or fat tassels. After I had the tassel wrapped around my fingers, I pulled what I had wrapped off and put a piece of yarn in the middle at the top of the tassel and tied a knot. I then gathered the yarn together and wrapped another piece of yarn around the entire tassel and tied a knot at the top. I then cut the strings I had wrapped around my fingers and trimmed the tassel so all the strings were about the same length. The tassels really are not hard to make. I had a person comment on another video that making a tassel can't be that easy. I just walked you through how I make all of my tassels. Was that easy or not? After I'd made all 10 tassels, I laid them on the board in the order I thought I wanted them. I used a ruler and found the bottom center of the board and made a small pencil mark. I hot glued a small stick up above the line I had just made for the tree trunk. Now it's time to build the Christmas tree. I started at the trunk of the tree and worked my way up. I centered the first 2 tassels with the trunk and glued them into place. I then added another tassel on each side of the first 2. The second set consists of 3 tassels. I centered the middle tassel between the middle 2 tassels on the row below and glued them into place. I also placed the tassels so that they overlap the knot on the tassels below them. The third row consisted of 2 tassels. I centered them with the center tassel on the row below and glued them. The final tassel was centered between the 2 tassels below it. I thought the tree was cute, but I thought it also needed something else. I used my Cricut and cut out the words Merry Christmas. I used transfer paper and applied the vinyl to the sign. I already had a center mark at the bottom, so I folded the vinyl in half to find the center and placed it on the sign. I did the same thing with Mary at the top of the sign. If you follow me on a regular basis, you know my secret to creating amazing wood signs: iron the vinyl. Yes, you heard me right. I always iron my vinyl when working on a wood sign. I do this so the vinyl will melt into the cracks and crevices of the wood and create more of a hand-painted look instead of just vinyl stuck on wood. I turn the iron to the highest setting. I apply a thin piece of fabric on top of the vinyl and I iron it. I don't leave the iron in one spot for any length of time, and I will check to see if the vinyl has the look I want very often. You don't want to overheat the vinyl and make it melt too much and start pulling apart. But the iron method worked perfect on the sign. It caused the vinyl to melt into the chippy portion of the paint, and it looked amazing. Not a good picture, but hopefully you can see how the vinyl had melted into the cracks and crevices of the paint. I wanted to use the hanger that came with the sign, so I used my Cricut weeding tool to remove the paint from the holes and reinserted the hanger. I thought the little Christmas tree was cute, but I just didn't love it. So I got out some beads and charms and started placing them on the tree. I hated it. I liked the red bead at the top, but that was it. I continued working with the tree, but I just wasn't satisfied with the beads and charms. So I just went ahead and pulled them off. I decided to just fluff the tree up as much as I could. I untwisted some of the yarn and then used an old brush to brush everything out. I finally got it to a point that I liked it. Let me know in the comments if you would have just left the tree alone, left it with the beads, or fluffed it up like I did. I'm thinking about doing another one, but just in a different way. If you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to my channel. I am putting out weekly home decor DIYs, and you know you don't want to miss any of them. So hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload a new video. Merry Christmas! And as always, thanks for watching.